first question. Callback to last week's hottest topic. Why is Timothée Chalamet with Kylie Jenner?
Oh, here we go.
I don't know. Don't
It's
ask
endless.
me.
This is endless.
Yeah. So the question comes from Luis from San Diego, California. Would you consider Timothée Chalamet and the New York Knicks the East Coast version of Jack Nicholson and the Los Angeles Lakers?
Wow.
I would, and I'm all here for it, says Luis
Wow.
from San Diego. Go.
I think it's a pretty good comparison.
You do?
I mean, he's not Jack Nicholson in the the bigger picture of Jack Nicholson, but it's before he hooked up with Jenner, he was a little bit under the radar as far as he wasn't really in the public eye as
he was
much
a complete
as he was.
unknown.
No, and then he did the Dylan movie that put him on, even though he's
I'd
done
say.
billions of other movies before. But
No, but he was a virtual complete unknown as far as star power went.
Yeah, and he wasn't really out in the social media world as far as everybody's talking about him as much as he is now because of Kardashian connection. But Jack was always a little bit, as big of a star that he is, he was under the radar a little bit as far as he wasn't in magazines and all of the gossip column.
I thought he was everywhere.
Jack Nicholson? I mean, he had a little bit of a low profile as far as he wasn't in the gossip world every day the way that Chalamet is now in the gossip world.
Okay.
But Chalamet has a little bit of a mystique, as Jack Nicholson has a mystique to him before Kardashian.
Man.
I don't know.
As you know,
But
I'm the biggest.
I don't even know.
I'm the biggest Jack Nicholson fan.
Maybe I don't know even
my
what I'm
all-time
talking
favorite
about. I don't
movie
even
is
know.
Chinatown, and you go back with Nicholson way before I do to Easy Rider and Five Easy
my
Pieces
God. I mean,
and blah blah blah. We can just go on and on.
he's
Jack Nicholson.
Yeah.
I mean, you want to talk about iconic?
I guess he's talking
He
about.
was a movie star's movie star to me.
I agree with you.
Faye
But I guess
Dunaway.
he's talking about showing up at the game. That all of a sudden now Chalamet is at
All
this
right,
game.
this is what offended me, and I know the Knicks are now over and out.
Yeah, sadly.
And quickly forgotten, but
Well, I don't.
I
forget.
became shocked. You're a New Yorker and a New York
yeah.
Knicks fan. You were rooting for the Knicks. I was rooting for the Knicks just because I love the Thunder, and I thought Knicks Thunder would be much more watchable than Pacers Thunder, Indiana, Oklahoma City. But the point is that out of nowhere came Timothée Chalamet. And if he had been by himself in the front row at Knicks games, home and road, I don't think much would have been made of him, but he's sitting with Kylie Jenner. So TV directors are like, show him.
The Wall Street Journal just did a big piece in Sunday's paper about the Knicks and the star power that showed up in the front row. Everyone, besides, of course, Spike, who's always been known.
But for decades...
Chalamet is only getting the attention because he's with the Kardashians.
Thank you. So for decades, the New York Knicks were Spike Lee's joint, right? They were his outfit. They were his squad. He was front and center wearing all of his New York garb.
The way Diane Cannon is to the Lakers.
Yeah, she's not as out front because she sits on the baseline.
She sits on the side, but she still has been there since the 60s.
She's iconic too. I give you that. But out of nowhere, all of a sudden, in one playoff run, Timothée Chalamet usurped the throne of Spike Lee. And then it got to the point where, was it which game was at New York? It's game 5. So game 5 is in New York, and they got to try to force a game 6, which they did. And unfortunately, that was that because they had to go back to Indiana. But game 5 at Pacers, Spike Lee, if memory serves, had to sit on the baseline, and Timothée Chalamet was front and center. I guess he just paid more for the seats or had better ticket brokers or something. I don't know. Maybe the network got them the seats or something because of Kylie Jenner.
Of course.
Because that's more photogenic. That's more captivating than just little Spike.
Well, for the Wall Street Journal to write an article, a feature about, Chalamet and Kardashian.
But the star power at Knicks games, it's like Ben Stiller and what's his name,
Tracy Morgan,
and
it's the usual celebs.
Except all of a sudden, Timothée Chalamet became, for rival fans, public enemy number one. Like everybody was taking shots at Timothée
It's the
Chalamet.
same. But it's the same thing as, I mean, the Knicks are the Knicks, and I love the Knicks, and I'm a New Yorker. But everyone in the world started to know about the Knicks because of Timothy with Kardashian.
What?
Just like Taylor Swift with what's his name?
Yeah. Travis Kelce of the Kansas City Chiefs.
So, and everybody cared about that team and watching it because what is she going to wear? Who is she going to be with? It became Taylor Swift's team. So it's the same thing as this.
But Jack Nicholson paid
All right,
his
forget
dues.
the Jack Nicholson. Then I don't agree.
All right.
I've changed my
You changed?
stance.
Okay, I talked her out of it.
You talked me out of it. So
Okay.
I love Jack too much to put him in the. I love Timothy. He's become a really amazing actor.
He
In
has.
that
No,
Dylan
he's-
movie,
he's
it will
very-
blow you away.
He's very
He's
good.
so
He's
talented.
gifted. He's very gifted.
That's why I can't.
give you that.
I can't picture him with her, with all of the Kardashian
Look,
drama
I'm going to
that
give you
goes
this.
on.
Timothée Chalamet is more of an artiste. He's more off Broadway. Nicholson is
is.
Broadway.
Again, if you
Nicholson
watch,
is a movie star.
well, he's a movie star, and
Right?
hopefully
Or
he will
was.
get to be. Well, he'll always be a movie star,
Yeah.
but hopefully Timothy will get to be that caliber, which he even mentioned when.
But
when
I
did he
don't know
win
if
the Golden
he.
Globe. I can't remember when he went
I
up
don't
and
know
he
if he
said, "I want to
chooses
be
those
as good."
paths. I think he's going to go more indie
Yeah,
type
he
film,
is artsy.
right?
So
He's-
that brings me back to how is he with her? That's what I
okay,
can't
which
understand.
brings us to our next
So I've
question.
changed my stance. He's not
Okay,
Jack Nicholson.
this is David from West Palm Beach, big fan of
yeah,
yours.
and he
Okay.
runs a very important nonprofit for
Okay.
seniors.
I love West Palm
Wonderful.
Beach. It's where I started my career, right out of Vanderbilt. David says, I heard your thoughts on Kylie and Timothy. After hearing your discussion, my first thought was, well, at least one of them is not who you thought. Either Timothy is more shallow than you think, or Kylie is deeper than you think. That's deep and good.
Good
But with
perspective.
that being said, I'm so tired of the Kardashians also, which is your point. So I hear you, Ernestine.
I
Okay.
think that's probably
Okay.
true. I think
All right. So which is it? Is he more shallow or is she deeper than we suspect?
no. I think that it's the Hollywood game of setting two stars up so there's double star power. And I buy every magazine, every
do.
rag
I
magazine.
mean, she
read.
actually goes and buys the,
Well, I do. I
the
read
magazine.
every Wednesday. The
The
magazines hit the
actual
newsstand
magazine
because
is in her hand
I
and
had
on her
well, I
treadmill
used
while
to-
she's
well, I-
walking.
Well, I used to have subscriptions. I'm a magazine person my
Yeah.
entire life. When you get the subscription, they come later than when they hit the newsstand. So I buy them in the newsstands because I don't want to wait another week. But every
Old school.
Inquirer, Star, People, Us, you go down the line.
Yep.
The cover is Timothy and Jenner. So
My God.
it's just to the
Well,
point of
then it's shrewd operating.
oh, it's just publicity. It's a good
it's
powerhouse
like
of her.
their
her
camps got together
mother-
and said, let's match make these
Well, her
two and
mother
put them
is
at
a-
Knicks games.
Her mother is a powerhouse, so
Oh, is
she
she?
knows. She put them on the map with the reality show, and now it's just one more step. I don't think that. I don't think he's shallow. I think he's very smart. I've seen him in that interview on the CBS Sunday Morning. He's very smart. So
Okay.
I just think it's a
All right. I
Hollywood
think
thing.
David is onto something here, and we do appreciate the question and the insight of this question because it's on point.
Mm-hmm.
I think you could change Timothy's last name spelling to Chalamet, Shallow, May, Chalamet.
No.
He's got a shallow side to him because he's just a guy.
No. I mean,
and
there's not a
I do
shallow
think-
side.
Okay,
Shallow
but-
to mean
okay.
shallow means stupid. To me.
Doesn't mean stupid. It
Dumb.
means he's just a guy. And I think,
Well-
I've told you before, I think she's sexy. I think she's pretty. I think she's smart. I think she's worldly. I think she's been way around lots of blocks. And I think all of that appeals to him just as a guy.
Well,
I think he's having
I just
great
read this
fun
morning
with
that
her.
his past girlfriend, I think it's Eliza Gonzalez, just came out and she said, and she's beautiful, she's an actress, that she's so happy that they're together. She looks at them and they're the perfect couple. So it's not as though he's dated, unattractive women. These
No.
women are beautiful that he's dating. So it's not. This one just happens to be part of today's explosive social media,
Yeah.
Hollywood world. And
Okay.
it helped put him, listen, I think a lot of people that didn't know about him now know about him because of her.
Okay. I
So
do
it's
think,
broadened their spectrum for both of their careers, right?
okay. But I do think she's deeper, or maybe translation smarter than a lot of people
Well, she
give her
runs
credit
a
for.
billions
$1 billion
of dollar
business,
company,
right?
which her mother helped
Okay.
do. But of course, well, then maybe she's a Rhodes Scholar, and I didn't know it.
No, but
I don't know.
somehow she's written off as just another bimbo. I don't think she's a bimbo.
No, I don't say she was a bimbo. I just don't see them together. But who's to say? Okay.
Have you
Then they
lost
belong
any
together.
respect for Shallow May?
Yeah,
A
yeah.
little?
I have.
Okay.
I just thought he
I
was
win
very
again.
artsy, independent film, artsy,
Yeah.
cool,
And he's just another guy.
Dylan-esque, and
in
he's
the
just
end.
another guy. So,
Yes. Okay. Which
so I
brings
still
us.
take Jack Nicholson over him.
Okay. Thank you. Which brings us to our third question on this same subject. This is Paula from Alexandria, Virginia. You two have talked a lot about the Kardashians lately,
course,
and I'm
I
here
want
for it.
to. Yeah.
If you needed to, quote unquote, keep one of them around, hypothetical question, which one would you pick? I would pick Kendall. She seems to be the lone sane one, quote unquote, sane.
I think Kendall. Just fix
You
this
would?
pillow. I think Kendall, but I also like. There's a brother, Robert. I think it's Robert. I'm blanking out on his name. Anyway, but when I would watch the reality show when it first came out years ago, before pre all the plastic surgery, he was pretty sane, and I really liked him. He was the normal one, and they kind of pushed him aside because he was the Marilyn Munster. He was the
Right.
normal one, and
If you know that reference,
yeah,
it's spot on.
yeah. But he was nice, and he was. They didn't, and he didn't get along with the sisters. But then he kind of changed, and he married. Is it China Black? He married that rapper. And then it became a whole big thing that he kind of fell down that path, and then they had a kid, and then there was all this drama. So I do like Rob Kardashian,
Yeah.
but I do think I think the Kendall is probably the most normal.
Well, you just schooled me on the Kardashian clan because I've never watched any of their
Oh,
reality
I did when
shows,
they
and I
first
don't
came
follow
out
them,
years
so
ago.
I'm not versed.
No,
I'm not
she's
qualified.
the model.
Okay.
She's very beautiful. Well, she's had a little plastic. Everybody's had plastic surgery, but she still is the most.
Okay,
in
this
my
is just
opinion,
me.
the most beautiful.
If I had to keep one around,
You'd keep
Kim. No, I'd keep Kim.
Kim?
I would keep Kim
Kim?
because, okay, who is the wealthiest of all of them? Who is the most
the
successful?
one with Chalamet.
No, I think,
Yes,
Kim is.
without a doubt.
Oh, come on,
No
Kim?
way. No way.
Kim is
no way.
it.
No,
She's the most famous one.
All right, we're gonna have to research this. I
Okay,
think,
who's the most well-known of the Kardashians?
But that's
it's
because
Kim.
she was the first one. Oh, I'm spitting. She was the first one. Sorry. She was the first one that made, because she had the sex tape that came out, and she was the oldest. But
Okay,
but
what I quote unquote love about her is that she has no discernible talent. She can't act that I can see. I think she
No.
tries and it's a bust.
No.
She definitely can't sing, and usually it's either acting or singing that make you a star.
Right.
Well, she's the biggest star in the family. I think she's the best known. I barely know who, until this happened with Kylie. I didn't know who she
You don't
was.
keep up in
I
the
don't keep up.
cosmetic world.
I know Kim Kardashian.
Right.
I can
okay,
pick her
but
out
in
of a
the
lineup.
cosmetic
Kylie,
world,
I'm not so
she
sure
has, She's made a.
about. Okay.
I mean,
all right.
I really think she has more net worth
Really?
than Kim. But I'd have to check it
I
out.
don't know. It seems
I
like
do.
everything Kim touches turns to gold.
This one has built the business.
Okay. Well,
But we'll have to get
research
back
that,
to you on that.
please.
Yeah.
Okay. But I'm all about Kim. You're all about the brother. Okay.
I like the brother.
Yeah. Hazel's. She says I'm
Hazel
with mom
says,
on
do
this
they have
one.
a dog I can
Do they have a dog,
talk to?
Hazel?
I don't know. I haven't watched the show
I
in a
think
long
she wants
time.
a TREAT.
No, it's okay.
Not yet.
Anyway, she's doing okay.